see, what do you say? Yeah, one second. Tirumala, you cannot hear my voice. Once I would like to see Tirumala. Tirumala, you actually, there is a problem that, my God. Can anyone help Tirumala with, achieving this? Uh, guys, you can find this software on internet. I don't know, this is not for free, but there is a trial version. They will be providing 1 month trial with the older versions of this software. This is Adobe After Effects. Tirumala, there is, see, there is one, yeah, left side corner of your screen, you can see mute, unmute, and join audio. Please press join audio, and after that, you'll get a pop-up that showing, call using internet audio or something. So please go with that. Then you can able to hear me, and you can able to audible. Yeah, Anvesh, please mute yourself. And someone iPhone, those who entered, please mute yourself. I'm trying to mute, and please stay in mute so that I don't want to spend my time in just calling you guys to mute you. Yeah, thank you, Tirumala. So now it's audible, right, Tirumala? You can unmute and speak if I'm asking something. No issues. Yeah, you can hear right now. Good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tirumala. So kindly please mute yourself. So a few people from you are very much familiar with this, software. You have heard, a few people have heard, and few people there, you have never seen this software. So we'll be working on this. Few things. So let me make a quick overview of the software now. These all are called as panels. If you see, I'm just clicking the highlighted panel. You can see in orange color where I'm clicking, and this is FX control panel. This is a project panel. This is a composting panel. The composting panel where you'll be, your window will be open, and if you're working on any footage, so that view you can get it on here. And these are some effects applying on the layer. Guys, please mute yourself, please. All right, thank you. So now in project panel, you can say that uh, you can import the footage. So I am calling a technical term here, footage. Footage means, the video where we are working. All right, so there is no audio in it, only video will be available in the footage. And this is a visual based software, and we will be working on the VFX part of this. So here we are working on some live projects. So before going any further, just I'm going to import my file. So to import file, just right click on the project panel, and just see the option called as import, and just import file. Here already I have made a link. If not, you can find your files over here in this panel. So this is a shot from one of my upcoming project where we are working. So I'm just clicking on this. Now one thing, sorry Anvesh, no recording please. This is our live project, so we cannot allow you to record. Right. So sorry for that, but please, you have any doubts, you can ask me. You can post me in the group also, no issues. So now if you see, these all are in the format of TIFF. It is called as .tiff files. This is one of the image format file where you'll be finding sequence of images for that footage. So this is a shot actually, shot by Red Epic camera, where these cameras are very expensive with a very expensive lens to shoot for the films. So here this footage has been given from the DI department. I have mentioned, a few of people might know this DI department, means it's called as a digital intermediate department. So these are the sequence of the images which combinedly making a illusion like a shot. So this is captured by that footage, and it's been transferred to TIFF format, and this TIFF format transferring thing they have rendered in DI. Okay, or else you can call it as a digital intermediate, where your video processing is going on. And after a DI people, they will, I have explained you in previous classes. I think most of you people know about this, that every movie is being divided into three departments, right? So pre-production, production, and post-production. So this is a part of post-production where you can say that first, after capturing, after getting the footage from the production, the footage will be pass on to post-production department, where the first department handling the footage is called editing. So editing editor will handle, and he will make some rough sequences, rough selected shots, and he will make some sequence of shots to form a scene, and scenes, number of scenes to form a film. So the film will be divided into reels. They will be having consisting of nearly 12 reels of a film. So totally those 12 reels again they will combine, and they will edit it to finalize the film into two parts, that which will be called as the first half and the second half. So here if we go ahead after the editor, so editor will do some rough editing, and he'll just give his footage. He'll pass the footage to the next part. Department is called as dubbing, where the people will give voice. The dubbing happens in one closed room that is made of soundproof, and based on that dubbing, again the editor will do some a little more final editing. It's not proper final, but a little more final. So after that, he will passing on that footage to the DI department, which is called as digital intermediate department, where there will be having two people. One is a conformist, and the other person is called as a colorist. So the conformist will confirm the selected shots from the editor, where it will be in a HTML file, scripted format, where editor will be passing that file to conformist, and he will be confirming the file by raw footages. Okay, so after conformist, the DI person, who is called as a CC artist, color correction artist, so he will be handling the file, and later on that person will pass this file to number of departments after finalizing. Like this file will be shared with VFX people, the same file will be shared with the music people, and the same file will be shared with the uh, what do you say, sound effects people. So this is how the file will get distributed. And the file there is one important major point while handling these files, is that you should not, at any situation, you should not never change the number of frames, the frame rate, what the file is in, and the length of the file. So if not, your music, or if the music director has a file of 20 minutes, for example, that's one reel. So 20 minutes reel, if he change, or he will convert it into 18 minutes, then his music will does not match with the other file, which is actually in DI department. All right. So you should not change the length of the file. Even the visual effects artist, now if you see, this is the sequence of images what they have given. So I'll be working on that, and also I'll be rendering this all images in the same length and the same number of images. All right. So let's come back to our part. So now I'll be selecting the very first image. You can call it as frame. It's just a single frame. So I'll be selecting it, and as soon as I select it, the software by default, it identifies the sequence of images. So it knows very much well than us. So it identifies the number of sequence of images. That's the reason here, if you see a box, there is a check box where TIFF sequence. So he's by default, he checked that option as tick, and he ticked it like TIFF sequence to be accepted. If you don't want to accept a TIFF sequence, then we'll go with the unchecking of this box. So now just check that box. And here there is one more option called force alphabetical order. So there is no need of force alphabetical order, because by default itself here will follow some rules while working in the production pipeline. So everything has a particular name, and entire department will be following the same sequence and same name. So no name changes, nothing. You just have to replace your shots, that's all. So remaining nothing else to do, just import it as a footage. By default you'll get, and just click open. So here my footage has been imported. So now the first other point what you have to understand here is that footage, whatever you are importing, so you have to see what is the size of the footage, what is the pixel aspect ratio of this footage, and what frame rate it is been rendered, and also what is the color depth value. It's millions of colors. There are true colors, trillions of colors, millions of colors. So depending upon that, so we have to look into this very carefully, and be very careful while attempting this footage transferring or rendering anything. So now here, as I guess you people haven't attended my 1 or 2 sessions regarding this, so here there is one small icon called as create new composition. So if you click that, there you can create a composition. So why should we create a composition? Composition means combining of 2 frames and giving a new output. So simply that is called as composing. So here if you see, this is one layer what I called it as a timeline. This is a timeline where we'll be working with a number of layers. We are blending or masking or any techniques we'll be using to work on this layer. And this is the window where it shows the video of your preview. Okay, so let's go ahead now. There is one thing, actually we follow some production pipeline rules. So we don't go with a new composition. We always drag and drop the file, whatever we got uh, by DI people. So we'll just drag and drop the file onto this new composition, where my composition by default, it automatically gets the information of that particular page. Guys, please unmute yourself if anyone. Yeah, thank you very much. So here, so the footage, what the properties of the footage we bought, the same properties will be latched on this composition, what I have just done a technique called as drag and drop on that new composition. So by default, it will make a new composition based on that particular footage what we have just replaced on that new composition layer. So now this is our composition, where this is called as a timeline. And please, it's very mandatory for us to not to drag on the timeline, because it is completely dependent on the RAM. And if you see, as it's completely RAM dependent software, so if your RAM is very good, then it won't get crashed. If you do this dragging and dropping of this pointer, it will crash immediately. Because if you see, I'll show the size of this. Just this is a shot of only 35 seconds, like 1 second. So this is a shot of 34 seconds and 7 frames. All right, in the frame rate of 30 frames per second. It's calculating in the frame rate of 30 frames per second. So we should not attempt to change this frame rate, as I have mentioned before. So 34 seconds, 0.7 frames. If you go and see the size of the file, you will know. Just bear with me. So this is the folder where that file is containing, and I am just right clicking the folder. I'm just trying to show the size of the folder, where if you see 6.3 GB, just one shot is of 6.3 GB. So we'll be working on very heavy files. So in that scenario, we should never attempt to drag this this pointer. It will be very problematic, and the file immediately crashes. and you cannot recover the files also, because After Effects does not support a crashed recover facility, as your Maya will support, but not this After Effects. It has some bugs in this. So we are working on After Effects CS5 version. This is a pretty much older version, but in the companies, they are working on CS3, even on CS also. All right, so people, they don't like the upgraded version because it doesn't suit the pipeline. There are some limitations also. So now, while clicking on this, here our main topic is that chroma removal, which we'll call in our technical term as a keying. It's called as keying. All right, so I'll just mm, just typing so that you people can understand. Font. All right, so I hope you people can see properly. So this technique is called as keying, and the term what I have used as called as chroma. All right, so chroma is nothing but one single color. A single color is called as chroma, whether it is of green color or blue color. Even white color is also called as chroma. So, but we won't be using white color because, as our white color theory, our color theory says that white color consists of number of colors. So, in that scenario, we should not approach for that. Now, the green and blue, why they use the green and blue is, it's the color where you can find most of these tools are designed to uh, take that color out of the image. So we use green and blue. And in detail, if you want to know that, I'll make another session if you have any doubts why they use only green and blue color. So right now we are focusing on how to remove this in a proper format. Just a second, guys. So till now, if you have any doubts, you can ask, then I will be continuing further. Any one of you, if you have any doubts, please go ahead and ask. You can unmute, just I'm giving just 1 or 2 minutes for you all so that you can unmute and you can ask, is there any doubt, you got it popped into your mind. All right, so you're asking me to check chats. All right, I'm just checking. Yes, yeah, Santosh, I'll definitely play the shot. Just bear with me for a couple of minutes. I guess you know this character, right? So this is one of the person in Telugu film industry. So we are working on one project. I cannot mention the name of the project as we have some rules bounded to us. So any questions related in technicality, you can ask, or else I'll be, yeah. Yes, hi Sumati. All right. Okay, no doubts, Tirumala. Thank you very much. Uh, so I cannot, supply internet connection to the people, those who cannot join. Mm, yeah, got it. Yeah, even my side also, there is a heavy rain going on here. Till 3:15, there was no power at my place. So uh, it is very lucky to have power, and you guys, have connected to this session. And sorry to disturb your Sunday, a beautiful Sunday, but this is actually to my team. I was, yeah. Yeah, no power, no power, Tirmala. So no, I got power now. That's the reason I'm able to show the system. So it's not running on what do you say, backup power, right? So here, this is actually the main motto of myself was to, you people, it's very hard to invest to learn this effects. So just like 1 second. The password is 930066. It's 930066. Just please post to her so that she can join. It's already mentioned in the Zoom call coordinates, I guess. All right, guys. So let's continue with uh, I guess you people have no doubt. So I'm going to continue here. So this session will end within 12 minutes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your support, guys. So now here, one thing, the main point is that I want to remove this entire green screen, which is called as chroma. So I'll be using some small technique called as keying. So here, if you see, as I mentioned previously, that effects and presets, there is a naming folder called as keying, where there are a number of tools in this. And if you go along with those tools, there are different categories based on different shots, different type of lighting. We'll use different tools, but right now, as my experience speaks, for this type of lighting and for this frame and this, we have to even keep a point in our mind that what type of camera they have been used. These are few things while we are talking to the clients, we ask them what type of camera you used for the shots, and also we have a discussion with the people who say that uh, you know the DI people who give us the shot. We'll have a small meeting with them, and we'll be discussing what type of camera they use, and what kind of information it is, and in what frame rate they are going to do, and what they want to do with the footage. Whether they want to go with the projectors in the films, or else they want to go with the multiplex. What quality it should be, what resolution we have to maintain. So these are some parameters which we'll be discussing with those technical team, and will be just coming to a conclusion that okay, we have to go on with this. So now based on this footage and my experience speaks, so I hope again we can rejoin after 9 minutes. So here I'm going to use only two keys. One is called as Keylight 1.2. All right, so you have to select the tool where you can see I have highlighted the tool. So this is a selection. So as soon as I select it, it just gets highlighted, and just click and drag and drop on that footage. If you have only one footage, now this entire, if you see the composition layer, I got only one footage. There is no other background or foreground, or any other layers are not available here, right? So I can just drag and drop on the window, or else I can just drag and drop on that particular layer. All right, so we can follow any of the rules. As soon as I drop on that, you can see in my FX control panel, there is one option we got. Yes, Mastan. So we got option that we are going to working on this particular tool. So it's highlighted the options in the FX control panel. Now here, yeah, some issue came up with my display driver. Sorry for the inconvenience. All right. So these are the options of that key light. what the tool I have selected. And if you see some details about these options, I'm just making this little larger. So here, if you see view final result, what after applying these properties, doing some tweaking around these properties, so we'll be getting what will be the final result that it has to show, or else we'll be going with some options further. So here, first thing what we have to understand is that the screen color. So what is the screen color here is by default it's black. So I have to pick a color on this footage so that it has to reduce that color. So that's main point of it. So as soon as click this picker type of thing, you find this picker in your medicines, for small children, what do you say, oral drops or something, you'll be finding this picker. So the symbol icon is in that way. So as soon as I click it, my cursor has changed into that icon, and I have to pick correct information, right information, where I want to um, reduce my green screen. So here one thing is there, if you observe in this screen, for example, I'm just clicking escape and just escape from come out of that tool. So here if you see the screen, the edges are little dark, and the between one is little highlighted. All right, so always pick the highlighted one, not the darky parts, because the dark part here, if you pick, even his body is also having some dark regions where your green screen, it will that tool will think that one second, guys. Someone asked something. Yeah, polio drop, Santosh. All right. So this um, uh, he will think that this tool will think that if you are picking the dark region and this dark region matches the same RGB values. Now, if you see in the info panel where it's at right corner top, you can see RGBA. A means for alpha. So, and there is X and Y. So this is entirely 2D based software. That's the reason there is no Z. As few people know that there is Z axis also in 3D. So as soon as if you notice that only X and Y are there, and wherever my point is going on, all right, my cursor, it's showing some value of that particular point. All right. So this is a layer based software. So now I'm taking the picker. I'm just clicking on the highlighted region where there is a little bit much light available. And as soon as I click it, you see that completely turns into black. So this is not a black, it's actually completely, what do you say, transparent. All right. So to see the transparency, our window has some options below it. And if you see that, hold on a second, guys. So if you see that here, toggle transparency grid. So I'll click that so I can see the transparency. So you have heard this term transparency in Photoshop. Those people who are familiar with Photoshop, you might have heard transparency. Transparency means there is nothing there, just a see-through. So called as the transparency. So this transparency, if we see, this will be highlighted in the black region so that we can understand why it's only going with the black. The reason is that if I zoom and if I go to the edge of his complete body, so here I can easily, identify where my pixels, it's a pixel based software, so I can identify where are my pixels, whether it is been properly keyed or not. All right, so that's the reason we use this black background. By default, After Effects gives a black background. All right, so you can change that background also, but not focusing on that right now. So once if you see, for example, the screen has been very much minimized on this, so you want to make it again fit to your window, there is option on this left corner where I have highlighted that fit. So it just fitted to the size of the window. You can come back around, right? So this is one point to be noted. And now if you see the image, for example, I'm just playing the image as Santosh asked. There won't be any audio, guys. So to first pre-render the After Effects timeline, you have to press 0 in your numerical keyboard. All right. So that is one point. I hope you guys have your notepads and pens or pencils with you, and you're noting the points. Yeah, we got only 2 minutes left. Again, we can rejoin the session. No need of that. Yeah, it crashed. You see, this is what happens when working on Windows. That's the reason in companies or in production houses they don't use Windows software because this is what happens. It won't support properly. They'll be having some problems and issues. So Mac, they'll be using mostly Mac, where your the crash things will not happen in that. And let's make this little fast. All right, just same process, just import, check whether that is been or not, and drag and drop. I got it, and I'm going to the keying, just key light, apply, that's all, and pick a color. Just I'm picking a color, that's it. So a simple few steps I followed. All right, so now if you see the transparency, here it's a transparent totally. Now this is not the final footage because there are a lot of issues in this which you cannot see. So to see what whether it's been mattered in a proper way or not, now in this key light 1.2 tool, if you see the option view final result. All right, guys, I guess this session is ending now, and I request you all to join again within a couple of minutes with the same coordinates. All right, so we'll join again in this other session.